You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning. First day of March. Flip the calendar.
That is right. It is now officially March. We're almost to summer.
One day more to Friday. Hey, John Scalzi.
Good morning to you. I tell you, time is going, right? It's going so
right?
fast. Yeah, we'll be in spring here before you know it. Yeah. Looking at some pretty nice weather for you this morning. Morning commute should be A-OK. There's no fog, no rain, no issues. Tomorrow morning, there may be some rain around. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a few. So none of the inclement weather boxes are checked for your morning commute. Airport delays, none. Serving the Sarasota airport, all the airport hubs on time this morning, so that's a good thing. Tracking on radar, not seeing anything here that concerns us, but back to the north, there are some showers around. All of that kind of just to the north of the Atlanta airport, but the trailing end of this frontal boundary will be approaching us as we head into the overnight toward tomorrow morning. Satellite view, nice, showing a little mix of sun and clouds out there today. Looking at we'll call it partly sunny skies. Daytime highs today about where they were yesterday, coming in at 81. This will probably be the last day in the 80s for some time to come. And we'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads. A little build up there already today on 14th Street West in the southbound lane as you get past 53rd, also known as State Road 70, around Bayshore Gardens. In the northern half of Sarasota County, some buildup on Clark Road in both directions out toward the interstate. And checking our final map of the south, not much to speak of right now at 5:02 on this Thursday morning.
And of course, those streets are getting busier every minute. You can check the up-to-the-minute traffic updates, construction news right there on your phone. All you have to do is download our app by searching WWSB or My Suncoast in the App Store.
And our live camera right now showing all the activity at St. Armand's Circle.
This is one of my absolute favorite places in the area. There's nothing better than a Saturday afternoon spent in St. Armand's Circle. Great places to eat, all those good restaurants, a million shops. Love that little area.
It's a great spot to take tourists who are visiting, and there's parking there right now, by the way.
You can really get a spot. Just stay right there.
But hurry.
Get a prime spot.
All right, 5:02 now on this Thursday morning.
That's right. Well, gun laws and guns after the school shooting in Parkland. It's been a hot topic of debate in both Washington, in communities, and in schools.
And often after these events, we see a spike in gun sales. Our Marla Spence joins us now live from a gun shop on University Parkway. Marla?
Yeah, Ray and Stephanie, following the tragic shooting in Parkland and also recent threats on the Suncoast, many gun shop workers say their gun shops have been really busy these past few weeks. Now, there's been a spike in gun sales on the Suncoast. So far, there's no word yet if there's a correlation between the recent shootings on the Suncoast or threats on the Suncoast, but gun shop workers say since then they've gotten an increase of customers. One gun shop owner also saying that just yesterday morning they had 6 people waiting outside to go into their gun shop and purchase firearms just before the opening of that shop. He says this has been the first time that's happened in the past few months. We spoke to a local attorney known as the gun lawyer, and he says why there's usually a spike in sales after a tragic event.
When people get afraid that laws are going to be passed that tell them they can't buy a certain item, and then you always see people rush out and buy those items because they think they may not be able to buy them in the future. So I think it's always related to whatever it is, an election or a shooting that puts the fear in people that they can't buy these items, and then they go out and buy them.
Right now, Florida lawmakers are debating gun laws during the state's legislative session, which comes to an end next week. Something that's being proposed is not allowing anyone 21 years or older to purchase firearms. Also, having a 3-day waiting period before anyone can purchase a gun. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Dozens of companies have now cut ties with the NRA, and 2 big companies are now taking matters into their own hands and changing their store gun policies. Now, both Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart have announced that they are raising the age to buy certain guns to 21. Walmart says the decision came after a review of its firearm sales policy in light of the shooting in Parkland. Now, the retailer is also removing items resembling assault-style rifles from its website. On an interesting note, both Dick's and Walmart actually stopped selling AR-15s and similar sporting rifles in their stores way back after the Sandy Hook shooting in 2002.
And new developments in the wake of the Delta Airlines idea of ending a travel discount for NRA members. Some Republican lawmakers in Georgia are threatening to penalize the airline for that move by removing a big tax break. But now at least 3 other states, New York, Virginia, and Alabama, are asking Delta to move their headquarters to their states if Georgia punishes them by removing the tax incentive.
I'm tired of conservatives being kicked around on our values, and it's time that we stand up and fight and show corporations that conservative values are important.
While Delta did not respond to the offers, it would be a big blow to the Georgia economy if they left. The airline is not only one of the largest employers in the state, it's also the #1 airline operating in and out of Atlanta's airport, which is the busiest airport in the world.
Well, there's been a big shakeup in the White House. One of President Trump's most loyal advisors is resigning.
Hope Hicks has worked for the president now for years. And here's a live shot of the White House right now. But Hicks is among the list of those leaving the White House. And the latest on Jared Kushner as well, the president's son-in-law. That and much more right now from ABC's Tara Palmieri.
Less than 24 hours after testifying on Capitol Hill about the Russia probe, White House Communications Director Hope Hicks resigned. The White House says it's just a coincidence. She's stepping down after admitting during a 9-hour testimony that she often tells white lies for the president. At 29, she's one of the president's closest aides, but rarely heard. She works behind the scenes to calm the president and craft his image.
Now, Hope Hicks is a tremendously talented person. She started off with us right from day one.
As the 4th communications director to step down, she adds to the growing list of aides who have resigned in little more than a year. In a tearful goodbye to her colleagues, she says she's done with Washington. Thanks. Hicks faced criticism for helping to craft a statement in support of Rob Porter when he faced domestic abuse allegations, despite being romantically involved with him. She was also involved in writing a misleading statement about Don Jr.'s infamous meeting with the Russians at Trump Tower. Meanwhile, Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner is back in the spotlight after losing his top security clearance this week. He had been using an interim security clearance while the FBI reviewed his complicated financial dealings and contacts with foreigners. Overnight, the New York Times is reporting that Kushner companies secured multi-million-dollar loans with banks after executives met with Kushner in the White House. His spokesperson denied that he had a role in securing these loans.
Unlike the other White House staffers, Hope Hicks is like a family member to President Trump. She started working with the family before the campaign on Ivanka Trump's jewelry line. The president said in a statement that he would miss having her by his side. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
New developments in Governor Rick Scott's school safety plan. The governor is proposing $500 million in security and mental health measures. Tighter gun purchase restrictions for people who are committed under the Baker Act would also prevent people from buying a gun if they're a target of a protection order. Now, he wants the state legislature to pass his plan before the end of the session next week. Scott was at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department in Tampa yesterday.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We need more law enforcement presence at our public schools. We're going to make investments in school safety, metal detectors, bulletproof glass, steel doors, upgraded locks. We're going to have anonymous See Something, Say Something statewide dedicated hotline, website, and mobile app.
Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi also spoke out in support of the governor's plan, saying if parents see something concerning their kids' social media accounts, they are encouraged to contact law enforcement immediately.
New details this morning about a shooting last January involving relatives in Sarasota County. Sheriff deputies are charging this man, 60-year-old Douglas Blanco, with aggravated battery against his son-in-law on Beneva Woods Circle. 31-year-old Samuel Marks was treated and released. Detectives say phone records from the day of the shooting reveal that Blanco planned to shoot Marks. Investigators say that Blanco told Marks he wanted him out of the house. Blanco's now being held in $100,000 bail.
New this morning, the Department of Health is extending an investigation at Bayshore High School. Now, people who believe they may be a part of a disease cluster that may have originated there have until the end of this month to participate in that study. Now, those who have gone to or worked at the school in the last 50 years and have been diagnosed with cancer are encouraged to participate. According to the Manatee County School Board, every early environmental studies don't link the school soil or groundwater to any disease clusters, but the new data collected by the study will be analyzed and released in about 6 months.
Happening today, the All Faiths Food Bank is unveiling a bigger and better distribution center in Sarasota County. The 35,000 square foot expansion will triple the amount of fresh produce available for Sarasota and DeSoto counties. All Faiths says that this expansion will help provide healthy solutions to end hunger in our community. The facility is located just off Fruitville Road, east of I-75. Wow. Good.
That is a very good thing, especially as we head into the summer months. A lot of times food banks will see an either larger increase because you've got all those kids home for the school day as well. So perfect timing.
Still ahead, first alert traffic, and we'll show you one of the most popular golf courses here on the Suncoast.
And coming up a little later in the hour, soon you'll be able to buy stock in the world's largest music streaming service. Stick around, we'll be right back.
But first, here's John Scalzi's forecast for this first day of March.
Thanks very much, Ray. You know, it's a little bit warmer outside this morning, a little bit more humid. That's the reason for the warmer temperatures. Pickup time at the school bus stops will be about 71 degrees. Drop off this afternoon about 81, about where we were yesterday for a daytime high. Temperatures across the region generally near the 70 mark, upper 60s. We'll have the complete forecast for you in a moment.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, Saturday, March 3rd from noon to 5 at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 40+ craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Get your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders, innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. The tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure. There is a place in Florida you can go year-round and you will more likely than not see an alligator, a wild alligator in their native environment. Join us this week on ABC7.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We have got a 65-degree air temperature and a 65-degree dew point. Absolute match between temperature and dew point, bringing us 100% relative humidity. Maybe a little patchy fog in inland areas, but it's not going to be a widespread problem this morning. Southeast wind coming in at about 6. Temperatures are a little warmer than they were 24 hours ago. The 24-hour temperature change from this time yesterday is coming in at about 1 to 4 degrees across the region. The 1 to 4 degree temperature is indicative of winds that are turning a little bit more southerly with time. As far as the planner goes, well, it's going to be a nice day today. Again, warm, partly sunny skies. We do have a little extra cloud cover around today, and the reason for that is an approaching frontal boundary. By 9 a.m., looking at 72 degrees. By 12 p.m., 79. And then as we head into the 3 p.m. time period, we'll be looking at 81 degrees. Warm throughout the afternoon, and then as we head into the evening, we'll start probably clouding up just a little bit, and the reason for that is we're kind of between two different regimes right here. This is a water vapor imagery which shows you the moisture and swirls in the atmospheres, the eddies and flows aloft, and shows you what's approaching and what's over us right now. And basically we had the dry air that was over us over the last couple of days. Well, that will be replaced temporarily by a little bit more moisture indicated here by the turquoise color. So we'll cloud up just a little bit as we watch a front approach. The front producing some much needed rainfall in parts of the deep south in areas where there's drought just to the north of Atlanta, but it's also producing in the mid-south some areas of rainfall over areas that are already flooded where the streams are above bank full. So don't like to see that. But the whole system is gradually moving to the east, so they'll be drying out in those parts where flooding is occurring now over the course of the next 24 hours or so. The tail end of this frontal boundary will be approaching us, and while we don't have any rainfall right now, tomorrow morning we just might. We're looking at temperatures throughout the day that are generally reflective of this southerly wind flow that we get. So we'll get into the 70s pretty quickly this morning. And then as we head into the lunchtime, we'll be cracking that 80 mark in many locations. By this afternoon, we'll start to see the clouds begin to build across the region. And then I think tonight we're going to see a lot of cloud cover around. Potential exists for a brief shower before tomorrow we start to see a wind shift out of the north that'll draw down that much advertised cooler weather that we've been talking about for about a week now. As I mentioned, low pressure areas just to the north and the frontal boundary surrounding it will provide us with that frontal boundary that'll switch our winds up and bring us that much drier air out of the north and give us daytime high temperatures that'll only be in the 70s probably for the next 7 days or more, 7 to 10 days it looks like on some of the long range forecasts. Chance of rain showers tomorrow, but that'll be early on before around 9 or 10 o'clock even, and then they'll go away pretty quickly and clouds will basically give us sunny skies as they mix away. Overnight clouds tonight, mostly sunny and warm for the balance of today though. So the forecast is looking like this. We'll have today winds out of the southwest coming in at about 5 knots, 2 footseas light chop, and then the forecast for the week ahead, nice. Today 81, tomorrow 78, clouds early, maybe a shower clearing, and then the weekend, check it out, 74, 73 degrees. That carries us really right into next work week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. There are no major road issues this morning. No fog, no rain, no wet pavement, and most of the roads are still pretty congestion-free at this point. Just here and there, a couple of blips right there on Bee Ridge Road a little bit. But other than that, the farther south you go in the county, the better the traffic gets. There's really nothing out there this morning because it's so early. 5:18, you got the roads to yourself. That is your first alert traffic. Well, it is time again to tee it up at one of the area's golf courses.
In today's Dream 18, a look at Heritage Oaks Golf and Country Club in Sarasota.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Dream 18. We're here at the lovely course, Heritage Oaks Golf and Country Club, a tremendous track. And joining us now is the Director of Golf, Joe Angelo. Joe, a lovely hole you have here, number 14.
Welcome, Bob. Welcome. Basically, just want to go over our par 5, hole 14. Offers a lot in terms of, distance reward. If you hit it 250, you get about 282 to the hole. So tough hole.
Yeah, there's a lot of danger. I see it's water to the right and water to the left.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely requires a good straight golf ball, and then just once again, then it's straight dogleg right. Got some bunkers on the right-hand side that you need to kind of stay away from.
And what's the story, Joe, on the distance here? It looks like it's a par 5. It's a long par 5. We're playing from pretty much the tips here.
It's basically about 570 yards, so really, really tough hole in terms of the wind patterns here. A lot of times this hole's into the wind, so depending on downwind, into the wind, sometimes you can get there and sometimes you can't.
It's a nice track and a nice hole, so let's give it a shot. Nice swing there, Joe. Right down the middle.
There you go, man.
Is that gonna make it?
Good swing, man.
Smooth swinging, right down the pipe.
Shot, Bob.
Get down, get down, get down.
Watch out. Whoa. Go. There you go, man. Good shot. Get in. Get in. Oh, man. Give it to him.
Ah, all right. It's been the story of my life, bogeys lately. On its way, that's on its way. Just a high side, pro side.
Man.
I'm gonna give that to you. Doing a good putt, good hole. Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you,
having
Bob.
me out.
Enjoyed having
Appreciate
you
it.
out here.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Dream 18.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Facebook is launching a new feature that may help you get a new job. We're going to show you how it works.
And New York City Public Transit about to make a big change as to how you pay. That story and much more on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us fun! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805.
This weekend's the Academy Awards, Sunday night here on ABC 7. The show starts at 8, pre-show at 6:30 on the red carpet. And there's a live picture of the Dolby Theater right there on Hollywood Boulevard. In Hollywood, of course, it seats 3,400 people. Again, the big night is Sunday, and we'll have more about how you can read Stephanie's tweets on Sunday night. She is a licensed movie critic. We'll have more on that today. Consumer News now, Hyundai has a new electric SUV out, but this one is different than others. But first, a change to New York City's Metro cards. Stephanie?
That is right, Ray. Soon, Metro cards will be a thing of the past. Now, the New York City Transportation Department wants to start phasing them out starting next year. Instead of those prepaid cards, Metro riders will be able to tap and pay with their smartphone, their Apple Pay, or even a smart card. Now, the goal is to have those Metro cards be totally obsolete by 2023. And here's a sneak peek at Hyundai's all-new electric SUV. You can get from Sarasota to Orlando in like, a single charge, which is not a bad deal. Inside the Kona Electric, you're going to find a digital dashboard, a head-up display, and my favorite part, an infotainment touchscreen. No word yet on just how much it costs, but it's going to be premiering for the first time next week at the Geneva Motor Show.
It's easier to park electric cars around Sarasota. There's spaces for them here.
That is true. That is very true.
Reserved electric only.
That is a good point. Well, the world's largest music streaming service is now going public.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bite, Spotify is hoping for $1 billion payday.
The world's largest music streaming service will soon start trading on the New York Stock Exchange.
It was launched 12 years ago. Spotify has yet to turn a profit. Last year alone, the company lost $1.5 billion. Well, Facebook is going after LinkedIn by expanding its jobs feature. It's now available in 40 countries after launching in the U.S. last year.
The company, owned by Microsoft, has more than 546 million users in more than 200 countries.
Let this serve as a warning for anyone nodding off in their cab. A New Jersey native was partying with friends in West Virginia when he hailed an Uber to take him back to where he was staying.
But he fell asleep, woke up 2 hours later, still in the car, halfway back to his home in New Jersey. The trip cost him more than $1,600.
Saved him the trip home eventually.
There's that. Those are your Tech Bites.
Enamel is the strong, white outer layer of your tooth surface. The thing that's really important to dentists is to make sure that that enamel stays strong and resilient for a lifetime. The more that we can strengthen and reharden that tooth surface, the whiter their patient's teeth are going to be. Dentists are going to really want to recommend Pronamel Strong and Bright. It helps to strengthen and reharden the enamel. It also has stain lifting action. It's going to give their patients the protection that they need and the whiter teeth that they want.
Cough doesn't sound so good. Take Mucinex DM.
I'll text you in 4 hours when your cough returns.
One pill lasts 12 hours, so...
Looks like I'm good all night.
Why take 4-hour cough medicine? Just one Mucinex lasts 12 hours. Let's end this.
They say you're supposed to deny your cravings. You know what I do instead? I snack on Blue Diamond almonds. Wasabi and soy sauce? Don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
All the flavors you craved in a superfood. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you!
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
It's been a two-way street. Our ownership and our organization has done their part in Sarasota, and Sarasota County has done the same.
The Suncoast is home to many Major League Baseball teams, from the Pirates to the Orioles and soon the Braves. How do having teams here affect our economy? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll be joined by an owner, manager, former player, and more. Meet me on the pitcher's mound.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast this half hour, new developments today in a hit-and-run accident as a couple left by Thunder by the Bay last month.
A hot topic across the state and also locally on the Suncoast following tragic shootings in Parkland is the gun laws. We're telling you whether that tragic shooting is a direct hit to and spike to local gun shops straight ahead.
And how a student may have helped end a teacher strike in West Virginia. Those stories and much more this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you on this Thursday morning. Going to be another beautiful day. Thanks for waking up with us on Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. So you just did. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Stephanie Webb. I'm Ray Collins.
Yes.
It's Thursday. We're slightly confused.
Yes.
But we're going to get through this.
First day of March.
That's right. This whole month has gone so fast again.
It did. February's like that.
Almost
Thickly.
spring.
Here's John Scalzi with the forecast. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. Beautiful start to the morning out there. You may have noticed a little bit more humidity in the air. It feels a little stickier out there, just a little bit. Well, the reason for that is we have some shifting winds, and that will bring us, again, some slight chances of showers as we head into tomorrow. But still, we don't have a big fog problem across the region. We're still looking at basically 10-mile visibility or better, so that's not a problem. As far as any rainfall goes, again, not a problem. Now, tomorrow morning, with a little few rain showers around, maybe it could be a problem because we haven't had rain in a while. So just even a little bit of drizzle on the roads will make the road surfaces pretty slick tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. A lot of rain showers to the north of us, though, all part of a system that promises us some changes. A little bit of cloud cover from that system already, so we'll call it a partly sunny day. Daytime highs about 81. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. You'll notice some problems on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south in the northern half of Sarasota County, you'll see a little blip there on Clark Road at Palmer Ranch and Honore. There's nothing major right now, though. And farther south, all clear in South County at 532.
Well, those streets are getting busier every minute. There's construction, there's traffic, there's all kinds of stuff out there. You can check your up-to-the-minute traffic updates and construction news right on your phone. All you have to do is download our app by searching WWSB or My Suncoast. Oh, another live
Here
look
it is,
out
folks,
there.
a live picture of St. Armand's Circle. That's how it looks at this hour of the day. Plenty of parking out there right now. But those shops get busy year-round now.
Right. If you're up and motivated, just, go park. Just rest a little bit. Watch the show on your app and then just, hang out at St. Armand's.
You've got some real good ideas.
They're just awful ideas.
Not really.
Well, no, they're not. Well, it is a hot topic of debate dividing the country right now, guns and gun laws after the school shooting in Parkland.
Often after these tragic events, we see a spike in gun sales. Marla Spence is live on University Park with a story. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ray and Stephanie. There is a spike in gun sales here on the Suncoast. There's no word yet on if there's a correlation between those gun sales and the recent shooting in Parkland and also the recent school threats on the Suncoast. But many gun shop workers say that their stores have been really busy these past few weeks. Now, one gun shop worker tells me just yesterday morning he had 6 people and customers waiting to get into his store and has been swamped for these past few weeks. We spoke to a local attorney known as the gun lawyer, and he explained to ABC 7 that usually people run out to buy guns when laws are proposed to revise gun laws.
The trend. I've spoken to a few of them today, some of the prominent local ones, and they've all indicated that they have seen a spike. Some have seen really big spikes where they've been slammed, and others have just seen a slight uptick, but it's certainly on the rise afterwards. There was just a big gun show in Tampa last weekend, and they had record crowds coming in. They probably sold record firearms, so I think you're definitely seeing it here, and it's sticking with the trend.
Right now, Florida lawmakers are debating gun laws for the state legislative session, which comes to an end next week. One of those proposed ideas and laws would be to limit the gun purchasing for people that's under 21. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. New developments now in the couple struck on their motorcycles while riding away from Thunder on the Bay last month. Sarasota police say they found the minivan now that struck Ricky and Heather Brisbois on 31 near Fruitville. But the owner of the van says he wasn't involved in the crash. More on that in a second. Heather and Ricky of Bradenton both suffered severe leg injuries. We talked to both of them yesterday.
I remember the headlight hitting me, or hitting the bike. I remember watching Ricky go flying. It pinned me.
So I grabbed her out of the road because I could hear her screaming. And I pulled her to the sidewalk. And she kept saying she was dying, and I told her she's not dying. She's hurt real bad, but you're not dying.
Now, police say the owner of the van doesn't have a driver's license and has a long history of driving violations as well.
And an update now from the Georgia High School, where a teacher opened fire yesterday. School is canceled today at Dalton High School. A social studies teacher allegedly shot his gun and then barricaded himself inside a classroom. Now, no one was hurt, but that teacher is now facing charges for making terroristic threats.
Mr. Davidson apparently fired a shot from a handgun through an exterior window of the classroom.
Now, police say Davidson had the gun with him during his planning period, but they still aren't sure when that gun was actually brought into the building.
New developments in that teacher strike in West Virginia that we told you about earlier this week. A 12-year-old is being credited with helping to end the statewide teacher strike. The governor says something the preteen recently said helped change his mind. Those classes are still canceled today, and teachers are expected to return to class today.
If you put money in schools, you're making smart people. And if you have smart people, you can make more smart investments.
Shortly after the sixth graders' comments, the governor announced agreement with union officials.
Well, Miami-Dade's superintendent is now being tapped for a job in the big city, New York City. Alberto Cavallo has been Miami-Dade County Public School Superintendent for the last 10 years, and now he's been chosen to take over New York City School Chancellor position. Now, he hasn't accepted the position just yet. He was selected as Florida 2014 Superintendent of the Year, as well as the 2014 National Superintendent of the Year.
Caught on camera, students in Oklahoma practicing an active shooter drill in an innovative way. You can see them there walking into a bulletproof storm shelter inside the classroom. The county installed 9 of these shelters in their schools, 7 elementary schools, 2 in the middle schools, and now the high school might be next. But it's not just for bullets.
When tornado strikes, and Lord help us when you have an intruder on campus, to know that you have somewhere quickly that's practiced for safety of your students, it's very relaxing.
Here's a strange hook now. Before buying the shelters, they tested them with real guns with the superintendent inside. He says he wouldn't buy something without testing it for himself, and he said he felt very safe while he was inside during that test. A bird's eye view has led to an interesting discovery in Port Charlotte. Look at this. During regular patrols on Tuesday, the sheriff's aviation unit saw something unusual in the lake. There it was. They pulled it out. A car was submerged in the water. It turns out the vehicle was stolen about 4 years ago. Talk about a package delivery gone wrong. Police in Miami say a helicopter flying over a house accidentally dropped a package containing a life raft. Somehow it was heavy enough to leave a hole in the roof. Thankfully, no one was inside at the time, and therefore nobody was injured.
Well, animal services in Phoenix are now looking for the owners of these 2 troublemaking dogs. Look at this, running right there on the sidewalk, right on a busy area, and now roads and back. They caused a massive backup on the interstate yesterday. One got all the way off the interstate into a mobile home park, stopped and grabbed a beer at somebody's house. They're both with animal services now. Employees are still looking for their owners.
Come on, really?
I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I give that guy some credit. Like, he's run a long way with his tiny little
How
legs.
much money was spent on that whole thing?
Oh yeah, you know the police officers are like, is this really happening right now? Are we chasing a dog?
And there's the news cameras and the helicopters.
Right, right.
All right, First Alert Traffic is next. And just how political will the Oscars get this weekend? We'll have a preview for you.
And in today's Health Smart, a dangerous trend that doctors are noticing in states where marijuana is legal.
Here's a live shot of Washington, D.C. and the White House. As usual, that top right light is on. That is mysterious.
I know. We need to track that down.
Yeah, but first let's track down John Scalzi in the March 1st forecast.
Yeah, big event coming up this weekend, the Sunshine Skyway 10K. That's on Sunday, benefits, of course, for the Armed Forces Families Foundation. A lot of runners going out there, I'm sure, from the Suncoast. Low 50s for the start of the event at 6 a.m. And by the time it wraps up about 10 a.m., you'll have low 60s across the region. As far as the forecast for us goes, we're looking at a 10 out of 10 chance of a outdoor recess today. It's going to be beautiful. We'll talk about the forecast in a minute.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
I'll be right back.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Meteorologist John Scalzi.
We've got some 70s on the boards this morning. We've got 70 in Venice, Inglewood, 73, Longboat Key. At this hour, that's pretty impressive for this time of year. 65 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia at 66, Mayaca 66, Parrish at 66, Bradenton 67, and Sarasota, kind of one of the cool spots, according to the sensor, coming in at 65, 68 degrees in Northport. So we have a temperature dew point match, 65 degrees both places, temperature and dew point, giving us 100% relative humidity. The air's got as much moisture in it as it can hold. It hasn't precipitated out yet into fog, so that's good news. There's not a widespread fog problem across the region this morning. Southeast wind coming in at about 6. As we head into the 9 o'clock hour, we'll watch that temperature rise into low 70s, getting close to the 80-degree mark by noon. And we'll have a mix of sun and clouds out there. It's not going to be a pristine blue sky, but on the other hand, at times it might be as those banks of clouds kind of roll past. It just will be kind of an intermittent pretty sky, blue sky. 81 degrees by about 3 p.m. Then tonight, I think we'll really watch those clouds start to roll in. The clouds will be produced by an approaching cold front that promises us a slight chance at a shower. It'll be the only chance of showers that we have until the weekend is over. You can see all the rains falling now in parts of the deep south, in places where they need it and in places where they don't. Just north of Atlanta, there's a kind of a drought situation going on there, so it's nice to see some rains there. But back to the west, they don't really need any more rainfall right now. They need to get rid of some of the floodwaters that they've got in place. That's a little bit of false echo produced by temperature structure of the atmosphere. Don't worry about that. It's not real. We have across our region very quiet, tranquil conditions. We have a wind generally out of the south today. That southerly wind or southwesterly wind will increase our humidity and bring in a few extra clouds aloft as well. 80 degrees our temperature by around the noontime hour. Then as we head into the evening, temperatures will start to fall off, but they'll still be warm in the upper 70s. And then overnight tonight, we'll be waiting for the wind shift. The wind shift will be occurring tomorrow morning as that frontal boundary starts to sink south. We'll see the winds begin to shift out of the north and then eventually into our area out of the north, bringing some cooler weather our way. Some delightfully cooler weather, I might add. We have a southwest wind throughout the day today, bringing the humidity in. I think it'll be a pretty abrupt change between this kind of humidity that we'll feel this afternoon and the much, much drier weather that we will see coming our way as we head into the weekend. 81 today, 78 tomorrow, chance of a shower early, a little bit of cloud cover around, then the winds shift and boom, temperatures start to fall. Saturday, 74, Sunday, 73. And don't forget Oscar night on Sunday night. And then as we head into next week, that trend of low humidity air will continue, only a slight chance at a shower Tuesday or Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. It is looking good out there today. Also looking good is your first alert traffic out there this morning. Not too much to see as you're heading out and about. Not even your normal congestion, just a little bit here and there. The usual spots, University Parkway, Bee Ridge, Fruitville, all starting to show a little bit of congestion already this morning. If you're heading farther south, those roads are actually looking pretty decent. Farther south towards Venice and South Venice area, and then eventually on to Port Charlotte, those roads are actually looking pretty congestion-free this morning as well. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, doctors are warning parents that they are seeing more kids in the emergency room after accidentally consuming edible marijuana.
It's happening in states like California and Colorado where recreational marijuana is legal. In a recent month, the California Poison Center saw 100 cases where kids had ingested marijuana. The problem? Legal marijuana being used in edible treats like gummies and candy bars. Kids don't realize the treats sometimes contain the drug. Although some young patients can experience severe symptoms, doctors say ingesting pot isn't deadly.
They might just be very sleepy, but they can be confused, they can be upset, they can be vomiting. Oftentimes they have a wobbly gait, and sometimes they can be quite sick to the point where we end up trying to help them breathe.
Well, now, by law, every marijuana product must be child-proofed. Ultimately, it's the parent's responsibility to make sure the products are locked away.
Doctors at a Chicago hospital say they have successfully completed a kidney swap between 12 people. All of the donors and the recipients met each other for the first time yesterday. Now, surgeons at Northwestern Memorial Hospital took 6 kidneys from living donors and gave them to 6 patients in need. The hospital says it was a rare organ transplant chain that ended up very successfully.
It was extremely rewarding. It was a relief that we were able to get it off successfully, and extremely gratifying this week to be seeing the donors and recipients coming back to our clinic and seeing how well that they're all doing.
All right, so why these 12? Well, those surgeries involved 3 sets of friends, an aunt and a niece, second cousins, and just one good Samaritan for funsies.
Say for funsies?
I said for funsies.
Love it.
Yes.
Oftentimes, the Academy Awards only include awards and speeches, but now they also include these days a lot of political commentary.
Right, the last few years, that has been the trend. So what can we expect at the Oscars this weekend? ABC's Dana Backus has a prediction.
Long before it was a movement backed by some of the biggest names in Hollywood, I wanted it to be a household name for survivors. There was Tarana Burke. And so Me Too was born out of necessity, out of just a need to do something and give these girls something. Her work with survivors of sexual assault started way before the days of social media. Nearly a decade ago, she started Me Too as part of her work with Just Be Inc., a program she started for young girls of color. But it was one tweet by actress Alyssa Milano that set the movement on fire.
How did you react? Was it a yes, finally, or wait a minute, I don't know if this is what I intended?
It was definitely a wait a minute. I mean, for several reasons. I thought, you know, this is something that will get lost, like the origin of it. In the wake of allegations against disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too hashtag went viral on social media. And this award season, celebrities have recognized the movement and Tarana as the creator. She was invited to the Golden Globes by Michelle Williams, but when it comes to what could happen at the Oscars Sunday, I haven't heard that there's going to be some sort of, you know, big surprise. And if there was, I couldn't tell anyway. Burke says her rise in popularity isn't a big deal. She's focused on continuing to be an advocate for survivors and moving the conversation around sexual assault forward. We want to set up a place both online and offline for survivors to come and for advocates to come to find the resources they need to start a healing journey. Dana Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
You know, I have heard some viewers say they don't want to hear a lot of commentary during the entertainment show.
I think it's both times. Like, you have this platform. I remember Meryl Streep doing it one year as well, and you certainly saw a lot of the Golden Globes. You have this platform for just a moment to really talk about some important things, but then you have another set of viewers, like you said, that are like, oh, I'm watching these for having escaped from it all. So ABC, you can see it right here. Sunday night show starts at 8 o'clock.
We have solved the mystery of that light in the White House in the top right corner, thanks to your Googling.
Right? Okay, it is confirmed on several places. I've also saw the floor plans. Right there, that light is actually a small second floor kitchen, which makes perfect sense. Since the Kennedy administration, it's been that, Jackie Kennedy converted that space into a kitchen to serve a new private dining room for the family.
There it is.
That is why that light is always on. I feel so much better now. I hope you do too.
We'll have local news headlines after this. Stay with us.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit nationalguard.com to learn more.
Well, here are some of the top stories that we're following for you today on the Suncoast.
A Sarasota County man is behind bars charged with shooting his live-in son-in-law. Douglas Blanco is being held on $100,000 bail.
Plus, students and alumni from Ringling College have a stake in this year's Academy Awards. They're part of several Best Animated Feature nominees.
And All Faiths Food Bank has an event today where they'll detail plans to add 35,000 square feet of warehouse space to their place off Fruitville Road, east of the interstate.
Coming up in the next hour on Good Morning Suncoast, jury selection is scheduled to begin today in the trial of the widow of the gunman who police say killed dozens at Pulse nightclub in Orlando. We're going to have the latest details on that case.
Yeah, lots of things going on today. We'll have details of all those stories and also John Scalzi's forecast for this first day of March next on Good Morning Suncoast next hour. But first, here's a shot outside our window.